It's Meredith Nagel, and we're here on Facebook Live. It's going to be recorded and rebroadcast, but right now we're here to talk about cyber fraud. This is going to be the biggest season ever for cyber fraud. And so I wanted to bring a couple things to you guys' attention, a couple of important reminders. First of all, for your realtors out there, never under any circumstances ever respond to a wire sheet or wire instructions that already have the account number without calling and verifying that account number. So it's industry standard right now. If you're dealing with any experienced title company or lawyer's office, you're going to get wire instructions and they're going to be missing the last 4 digits, and you're going to be instructed to call. If for some reason you get wire instructions that don't have those 4 digits missing, you need to be alarmed and you need to call. It's important that you not call the phone number that's on the wire instructions. Instead, find the number from the website or from your phone book, your contacts, from an email. Make sure that you find the number and try to source that to the actual number if at all possible, because when these bad guys grab these wire instructions, they put their phone numbers on them. They know that you guys are being instructed to call, so what do? They put the wrong number on there. So even when you get it in the right format where those last 4 digits are missing, you still need to call the number that you know to call, not the number that's on the wire instruction sheet itself, because they know that you're being asked to call those numbers. And so they're not only tinkering with the account number on the wire instructions, but then they're also tinkering with the phone number. Make sure that your customers know this in every single transaction. If you have a customer, especially if they have a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, Comcast account, these large providers are really big targets for the bad guys, just because there's so many customers that are on those servers. And so that's where they like to hang out, and they like to hack into these accounts, and they're really good at making the email look like it's coming from a legitimate source when it's not. So as to issues besides wire instructions, here's a couple of reminders. If you have any question at all about an email, hover over the from line. Sometimes they can make it look like it's coming from a name that you recognize, but if you take your cursor and hover over that, you'll find that it's actually an email address you don't recognize. Also check to make sure if there is a reply email that you don't recognize or a CC email that you don't recognize. That's where you can find the fraud as well. We think that most of these fraudulent transactions happen because people get emails saying things like, you have a problem with your Google account, you have a problem with your Netflix account, you have a problem with your ATTN account. They're getting smarter, and they're knowing that you know now not to anticipate emails from your banks asking you to confirm information, but they are trying now these other providers. And so as soon as you click on that, they've captured you, and they can then sit around and watch your email, watch for things that are interesting, and just hijack those specific transactions, which is scary. So you don't necessarily know that it's happening. So be aware of that. Be on the lookout for that the Christmas season. I want you guys to stay safe. I don't want you to have any bad outcomes. If you're involved in a transaction as a realtor and money has been hijacked in the process, somebody's E&O insurance should pay for it, and it's just a question of how long it'll take to happen. Obviously, while the money's not there, the transaction can't close. So if you face this problem at all, as always, call me. If you have any questions about cyber fraud, call me. I want you guys to be safe out there, and just be extra vigilant. And finally, if you're working with a title company or attorney's office as a realtor that is using a portal, or if you're working with a law firm that is using a portal, I know it is not convenient for you guys to use those portals, but I cannot emphasize enough the importance for security purposes. When you're communicating through the secure portals that your providers have, your law firms, your title companies, it's much, much more difficult for the bad guys to get those emails and cause the havoc that they can cause. So again, if you're working with one of those companies, make sure you use their portal. If you work with a company that doesn't have one, you might want to talk to them about that and what their plans are for cybersecurity as we're heading into, let's face it, guys, the new normal. And so all we can do is be vigilant and be prepared. As always, if you have any questions about this or anything else, I'd love to hear from you and answer any of those questions. I can be reached at 352-394-7408. You guys stay safe.